Dr. Devin Kelly, you're organising an event.
I am chairman of the local committee. There's a national committee of the Kelly clan. Now the Kelly clan meetings have been going on biannually for the last 21 years. They're one of the oldest clans, celebrating the history of the Kellys in music, song, dance, crack, fun. So we have a weekend which will be held in Westport on the 15th, 16th and 17th of May this year in the Castle Court. It'll be a wonderful event. So I'm just going to tell you what's going to happen on that. On the Friday, the 15th, there's registration. We have a talk then later on that night by Harry Hughes on Croagh and the history of Croagh. The next day we have a talk by Mary Pat Kelly. She's a writer from America who's written a number of books, but she's talking about two things at the Kelly clan rally. She's going to talk about the Book of High Manny. Now High Manny, the word comes from a man called Marna, who lived at the same time as St. Patrick, which is about 460. And the Kellys have a genealogical tree all the way down from him, down to today. And the High Manny Kellys that connect in to South Roscommon, East Galway and North Tipperary. There are 13 different groups of Kellys that we recognise. And the reason we know so precisely is that there is a DNA study going on about the Kellys. And this, several hundred of the Kellys have had swabs taken, and this shows whether they're connected back through this genealogical tree, which existed in the Book of High Manny. And Mary Pat Kelly will be talking about this Book of High Manny, which is really a book of the Kellys from the Middle Ages. Now, moving on, the next day on Saturday, after this talk by Mary Pat Kelly, and a talk on DNA, and see who's related to what, and the genealogical tree, we have a tour around Clubay. And this starts at 10 to 12 and continues on till approximately 6 o'clock in the evening. And it starts by having a bus tour going from the Castle Court, where all the events occur, to Westport House. And what's not widely known is that Westport, the most beautiful planned town in Ireland, was built by O'Kelly money. And Westport House itself was built by O'Kelly money. Elizabeth Kelly, an heiress, one of the richest women in the world in her day, married Howie Peter Brown, and thereby made him one of the richest men in Ireland in his day, and thereby he had the money. How did she acquire this money? She inherited it from her father, who was the governor of Jamaica, and they owned the sugar plantations in Jamaica, which sold half the sugar of the world. They had 450 slaves in Jamaica, and hence the money that came into Westport House. So we'll be talking about that area, and we'll have a tour in Westport House for 45 minutes, stressing that interest. Then we get on the bus and we move to Newport and see the church in Newport with the Harry Clark windows. I'll be talking about, as we pass Newport House and the history of that, the O'Donnells that came down from Neil Gorriff, first cousin of Reggie O'Donnell from the north. And as we move on, we'll go to Burrasool Abbey, the holiest abbey in the west of Ireland. This abbey went on to 1812. But about 1654, the Cromwellian soldiers came in and suppressed it. And in particular, I'll be talking about two nuns that they killed. They're now considered saints. Undoubtedly they were. One of them was the daughter of the husband of Grania Whale, Father Manus McSweeney from 1798 Rebellion, Cogogro Cleary, who was one of the writers of one of the four masters, buried there. If we have time, we'll get in Grania Wales Castle in Carrigahourly. And then as we progress on, we go to the Park Hotel, which formerly Great Southern Hotel in Mulranny. Now what's not commonly known is that O'Carolan, our greatest composer, did the same trip in 1689 around the bay, and we'll be handing out the music he composed for the Garveys and Murrisk, and the 3 pieces he composed for the O'Donnell family in Rossturk. Subsequently, that family moved to Newport, which is now Newport House. And then we have lunch in Mulranny, and from there we move on to Castlebar, to Turla Museum, where we'll have a guided tour. And that finishes our tour, and we move back to Westport, and we have a change of clothes and a drink, and then for the night we have a banquet. Our chieftain will be introduced and led in by a piper. We have a grand dinner. Leisha Kelly will play the harp at the dessert stage. Following that we have strawboys, and following that we have Dan Delaney and Johnny McFadden and a group of musicians to entertain us for the rest of the night. And that will finish the Saturday programme. The next day we have Mass, and we have a gathering and committee meetings and so on. So we're looking forward to seeing you all, or any of your friends who are related to the Kellys. Thank you.